may seem. You gotta stretch your faith. Moving. It doesn't matter what your situation may seem. You gotta stretch your faith. You gotta keep it moving. You gotta keep on pressing through your obstacles. It doesn't matter what your situation is. It doesn't matter what your obstacles may be. You gotta stretch your faith.
All right, everyone. Let's go ahead and see if we can get it going. Here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, everyone, for chiming on in. It is your girl, your co host, your birth and doula, your inspirational healer, your sister from another mother from the spiritual realm, right here on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. Hey. Yes, 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 yes. Welcome again for those who are chiming on in and it's your first time. Welcome to your girl, Cynthia J, on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. So, how was everyone's week? We are already today in the month of May. Oh, wow. So glorious, graceful month of May, this season that will be delivering some different dynamous frequency, the month of unveiling divine frequency. So y'all better get ready and get ready for what's about to explore during this season and this time. But anyway, welcome to season 3. This is season 3, episode 14. Episode 14, we're going to be dealing with a topic on the Smithsonian and also on Delta airplane that had caught fire and other things that's been happening within the last few days and few weeks and a few updates. But go ahead again, for those who are just chiming on in, hit that like button, subscribe and share. Let your sister know you're here. Yes, let me know you're here, right in here with me today. But with that being said, again, thank you guys for chiming on in. So let's get ready and get updated on this topic dealing with the Smithsonian. For those who are unaware of it, there are some changes being made on the Smithsonian African Museum right in Washington, D.C., Arlington area. For those who are aware of this place, it's in the East Coast. So it's been so much going on since the new changing with the presidential office and the DEIs and things like that. And a lot of people are kind of, well, I guess I should rephrase that. Not a lot of people, but majority of some are actually feeling some kind of way about certain artifacts that are being removed and why is it being removed, and we are to fight for certain things and so forth and so forth. And I get it. I get why it's necessary and why it needs to, be done. But I will say this, that what we're going through right now is only temporarily. So for those who are concerned about, what's going on with the Smithsonian. I'm gonna go ahead and share that news feed right now because I'm about to play it in just a second for those to
To
hear
WUSA
it.
9 that the Smithsonian Institution is
Sorry about that, guys. It started playing already. So y'all bear with y'all, sister. Let me see if I can get this to replay back. I'm gonna turn the volume up so y'all can hear what's happening and what's going on. Let me know if y'all can hear it. Again, this is the Smithsonian removing certain artifacts from the National Museum of African American History. And this was about 3 days ago. Y'all can find this on Breaking News. So I'm going to go ahead and play that.
is starting to remove certain artifacts from the National Museum of African American History and Culture.
Let
Reverend
me know
Dr.
if you
Amos
guys can
Brown
hear
tells
that.
us that he received an email from the Smithsonian Institution this month informing him that the artifacts that he donated to the Museum of African American History and Culture were being returned. That includes a Bible Brown carried during demonstrations with Dr. Martin
Those
Luther
who are
King
on
Jr.
TikTok
and
and
Jesse
other stream
Jackson.
live.
His honest excuse was because they were under too much
Let me
light.
know if y'all
And to
guys
be
can hear that on
clear, you
TikTok.
never asked for these books back, correct?
No, no, we're not going to let nobody tell us what we can't read and what we can't celebrate as our artifacts.
These changes come after President Trump signed an executive order demanding improper, divisive, and anti-American ideology be removed from the Smithsonian Institution and specifically singled out the National Museum of African American History and Culture as problematic. This weekend, multiple sources have.
So with that being said, for those who, if you would like to find out more information pertaining, if you were able to hear it on TikTok and other stream lives, let your sister know, give me a thumbs up. But this was on WUSA 9, dealing with the Smithsonian removal of certain artifacts from the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And they were saying that also that they will probably be possibly removing also the Bible that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. had carried during the civil rights movement. So with that being said, definitely to all brothers and sisters out there, just know that no matter what is being done, we have our own. We have our own. We can build. For brothers and sisters who are, are Black American, we have our own. We can build. Even those who are not Black American, if you are allies that are willing to help, we know you will help. It's all there. It doesn't matter because the story would continue. The legacies would continue. And it starts from our own backyard. So with that being said, for those who are concerned about this, definitely go out here. If you want to petition for it, go ahead. If y'all want to, some people would say, hey, go out there and definitely fight some more about it. Or let's build our own area where we can have our own. Let's all create and find ways to donate and so forth like that to build on that. So with that being said, don't let that shake you. That should not break us on what we are striving for, because at the end of the day, history is still here. It doesn't matter which way we go, history is still here. But on some other news, let me go ahead and get y'all up to date on this one that still is very, 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 very shocking to hear on how this went about. Like seriously, I'm still trying to understand how this can even occur. Like, let me know. Help me help myself on this one here. Because I'm still trying to figure this one out about the Delta flight. To me, whew, it's still surprising, but not surprising on a lot of the things that are occurring right here in our backyard. This is why I tell a majority of people, if you're going to go and travel, please be safe, be aware of what's going on, because it's just so much. Like what I'm telling you, it's just so much going on that we have to be very, very, very careful. I'm about to share this on my screen for you guys to chime on in, for those who want to restream live, and for others, I'm gonna go ahead and read. But for that, this is dealing with the article dealing with in Orlando. This was about 10 days ago. For those who are unaware of it, This is the part where some people say a terrifying moment. Delta plane catches fire on Orlando runway as passengers scream, open the door as they try to escape. Again, for those who want to know what this article at, you can find this on the U.S. Sun. The U.S. Sun. Definitely go on to Breaking News or any other website on Google where you can find updated information on this as well. So I'm going to kind of scheme through this real quick. It says this is a heart-stopping moment at Delta plane packed with almost 300 passengers catches fire as it pulls away from the gate. Y'all hear that? As it pulls away from the gate. So that means everyone has already been seated, seatbelts fastened, ready for takeoff. It also mentions that, and I'm going to skip a few pieces here, that as it shows, you're going to see a clipping for those who are online who can see this on my Rich Streamline and others. This right here is a passenger taking a video. I know you guys on TikTok can't see it, but for those who would like to follow me on my YouTube page, you can follow me under Cynthia J22, Cynthia J22. So definitely go on my YouTube at Cynthia J22. You'll be able to see it there as well. This is a passenger taking a picture of the tail of, or I should say the wing of the aircraft catching on fire. And this can be a scary thing. So nobody knows what's really going on. So I'm going to scan through this and I'm not going to hold us too long on this. But there's even been videos talked about and showed. They're trying to hide that. As you can see, for those who are online, you can see the wing right there where it's on fire. And that's a pretty steep fire, because the smoke from the wing of that Delta airplane flight is very huge. It is also said, as you're scrolling down some more, you can see another big picture of people sitting inside of the airport taking pictures of the flight from a distance, and they can see it on the other side of the plane catching flames. So that is on the right wing for what it looks like from this picture that is being shown. I know this is the only thing about having breaking news and all these other things. They'll put all these other advertisements up here. As you can still see the smoke still wriggling through. There's multiple pictures. They have it close-ups, as y'all can see here. I'm just scamming through really fast because I don't want to hold everybody up. But right here, as we start to read, it said the incident unfolded at the International Airport in Florida around 11 a.m. in the morning, guys. 11 a.m. in the morning. They specify that plenty of the passengers were very terrified because it scared them. So it doesn't state if they heard a big bomb sound or anything like that, a big boom or anything like that. They just know that the passengers noticed a big fire. It doesn't specify too much on that, but as you can see, they say another person shared a social media video of the passengers frantically trying to exit the plane. The Delta plane was pushing back from the gate, departing from Atlanta when the engine caught fire. So that's what it said, the engine caught fire. But again, we don't know how the engine caught fire. Again, they just noticed it caught fire, no sounds for what it is stating here in the article. It also states that a rescue crew rushed over inflated emergency slides to help 282 passengers escape. 10 flight attendants, 2 pilots were also on board when the fire broke out. In a statement, Delta says that the fire started in the tailpipe of one of their plane's 2 engines. 2 engines. Do y'all get that? 2. Wow. That's some deep stuff. 2 engines, guys. 2 engines. You can't play around with that. 2 engines. So it also states, reading on, that the officials of the passengers on the air flight terminal were given food and beverages. Maintenance crew will examine the plane. Since this time, it hasn't been any more too much of an update that I have came across yet on this situation here dealing with Delta flight. The Delta still send their regards about the emergency and the rescue passengers and their safety. They state that they appreciate their customers and for cooperating, and they apologize. Nothing more important than the safety, and the Delta team will work together and the customers to their final destination as soon as possible. Now, as in the majority of the customers reach to their final destination, my prayer is that they did. Haven't seen any videos or heard any more complaints or seen any other updates on this. But again, they still say that everything happened approximately around 11:06. This was dealing with Airlines Flight 1213. Airlines Flight 1213. And again, they repeating the same thing. FAA has said it will continue to investigate, and there were no reports of any injuries. So with this being said, guys, this goes to show how important it is to be, careful out here in the safety of air flights, because I'm telling you, it's too much going on around here where you have to be concerned for your safety. It's not a coincidence of how much we are having issues with electrical technical difficulties, to like, even for those, I don't know if you guys noticed this, and I experienced this this week, even with DMV. If you're in DMVs in any areas of across the nation, there has been like slow downloading and uploading of the computers, softwares, everything, like everything. And for those who also noticed too, today marked the month of May, where the government is trying to push, or I should say, the individuals behind the seats of the government are trying to push more of the real ID, the real ID. Now, for some folks who may disagree with this situation pertaining to the real ID, and some may not, I'm going to definitely tell you, if you haven't noticed, the real ID seem very suspicious. I've had, like, for myself, I had already, said to others to be careful and be mindful of this real ID thing. If you look at the real ID and turn around and look at the regular ID, you will notice a big difference. There's a triple coating, and you can see that there's something there in the midst of it. And other people was like, oh, well, we got to use it to travel. Again, we are living in a time of matrix. Again, you don't have to believe it. You can say it's a conspiracy theory. I cannot express it to you as much as others who are like me have expressed it from years before half of us was even born, or what was going to come to pass. Look at it. Why do we need to have the real ID to travel into other domestic states? We are in North America, which the United States of America is in. Why do we have to have that? They're saying it's for traveling purposes. Well, they were even saying it was for traveling purposes even if you're driving. That goes to show you that they are trying to separate. You may disagree with me with this, but this is okay. They are trying to separate and have themselves to be their own entity. And also, again, there's an agenda. There's control over this. How much more do we need? Think about it. You're even spending more money when you can stand and look inside. The lines were ridiculously long, guys. I'm telling you, the lines were long with so many people trying to get their real ID. They was like franticing today. People were all over the place. Lines were long. The real ID line was longer than just to go get your renewal for your vehicle, or to get some tags put on your vehicle. Like, it was ridiculous. And as I was talking to one of the individuals that was standing in line with me, and I was going in for just to put decals on the vehicle. That was it. And I look, and she's telling me what she's been trying to do. She said it took her about, I think it was 5 to 6 days to try to get online just to update and to receive the real ID. And she said every time she would go through the thing, it would knock her out online. She will call, it will return her back to the beginning. She was just like, for 6 days straight. So that goes to tell you that this is just nothing but another agenda, a big agenda. So again, you can believe it or you don't have to. Nobody's forcing anyone. But if you do not see the game that's being played, I don't know what else to tell you. But for those who are unaware, you do not necessarily need to get their real ID. I don't recommend it. That's just me saying. Other people will highly recommend it. yet I do not. I recommend, though, you to get a passport. For those to get a passport, yes, get you a passport. If you've never traveled, doesn't matter. Still get you a passport. Get you a passport, because that will come a long way, even for yourself, for your children, whoever is with you. Get a passport. It is very, very, very important, because anything can happen anytime. And who's to say that, again, those real IDs or any of those things will even be relevant, you know? And so, again, be easy on that. Also, there's been recall on bread, guys. Can y'all believe that? A recall on bread. I would never thought today that there would be a recall on bread. Can you believe that? A recall on bread. Who would ever think that? I know I didn't. Would you? I'm sitting here still in flabbergasted about a recall on bread. Why is there a recall on bread? That makes you wonder, what are they doing to the food? For families out there, if you don't know how to make your own bread by now, please learn. When there starts to be a recall on bread, that should be a big concern. It's bad enough we had recall on meats and recall on cheese. Now we got recall on bread. Are you kidding me? It's getting ridiculous. It's like no matter where you go, the food is not safe. Like, seriously, the food is not safe. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. But there again has been a recall on bread. They were saying that there were some fragments of glass found in bread. So if you have brought any bread, please be careful. You can find this article again. You can find it on Scripps News Life. Scripps News Life, for those who can see it. I don't know if y'all guys can see that, my light. But for those who can, on here is stating that, and this article was put out today, bread products that were sold in 6 states have been recalled after glass fragments were found on the top of the bread, according to the Food and Drug Administration. Please, somebody help me understand, how do you have glass fragments in a place that's a bakery? Supposed to be a bakery, right? Supposed to be making bread for you, right? Something's not adding up. Something's really not adding up. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to fix my screen on here on TikTok. But anyway, they also state that Maryland-based Upper Crust Bakery, also known as Crust Hill Bakery, volunteered to issue the alert on the product back around April 12th. I know some of us did not receive this alert, so let's be advised. Recall on bread, just check all your breads. No matter where it come from, check all your breads. The recall includes ancient grain, hoagie rolls, multi-grain, sourdough, whole grain, multi-bread, all frozen, sold in California, Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, Ohio, Pennsylvania. I'm going to repeat that again. All the recalls are on ancient grain, hoagie rolls, multi-grain, sourdough, whole grain, multi-breads, all frozen and sold in California, Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. The bakery said a vigilant team member discovered the contamination, and upon further investigation, they determined that glass fragments came from the same lot of sunflower seeds used in the bread products. So that makes sense. That can happen if they're buying their sunflower seeds from somewhere else and it's already prepackaged, and then depend on how the machinery or what they're doing when it's flowing through. Again, not all of us may be familiar of bakeries, how they do in a factory setting compared to some that do. So definitely, if there's some individuals, brothers and sisters that are on here that worked in bakery factories, definitely let us know how that can actually occur, by the flowing of the machinery and so forth. Sunflower seeds were supplied by a company called JJ Nuts in New Jersey. The bakery said there have no, they didn't say this, they didn't even type this right. There has been no other reports of injuries related to the recall, and the bakery said the products were swiftly removed from the shelves. So far, we know some of them swiftly removed from the shelf. But those are just chiming on in on my TikTok feed and other social medias. I'm your girl, your co-host, Cynthia J on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men, giving you updates, current events, speaking life into you, encouraging you, and keeping us on the realest of the reals. Thank you for sending me the hearts of love. I appreciate it. I love you back. Sending love, peace, and grace, and blessings and blissfulness unto you and your household and your generation. Yes. So with that being said, again, let's all be mindful of a lot of the things that are going on out here, because I'm telling y'all, whew, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot. On some other breaking news, I have not heard any more updates on the issue that you heard me mention about 2-3 podcasts ago about a brother who built his own house that looked like a castle. He is still fighting from the last time we checked for his property. It's just crazy how you can live somewhere, own the property, build on your property, and it's not like you're in a big area where there's a lot of zoning and things like that. But in some places they do zoning, and it's like when you have a zoning, you have to get permits and permission to do certain things to your own house, but it's your house. As long, to me, it's like as long as you keep your area looking nice, it doesn't look crazy, it's just presentable. Why should that matter? Yet again, everything is power and control and money, guys. Be mindful of that everything is power and control and money. So let's keep it going. Again, for those who have not heard, how many of you guys have watched the movie Sinners? Sinners, yes. You know what? I got to give Sinners a big cheers up with some applause. Yes, Sinners. Y'all give a hand clap for Sinners. Please do. Yes. That movie, I'm telling you, that movie, if you have not seen it yet, you need to get up there and get with a friend or a family. Please, when you go there with a spirit open, meaning open, not just to open yourself. Hey, I'm taking it. No, spiritually minded. Don't go in there with no religious perspectives or anything like that. Go in there just like you would do any other movie. For some people that's on here, you know you're going to do it anyway. But for others who are, of religion and stuff like that, don't go in there with that, because you're going to end up blocking your spiritual way to understand what's going on, and to understand and to overstand. Some of y'all going to be like, well, hold on, Cynthia and Jay, aren't you a person of in religion and stuff? Yes, I might go to church. Yes, I might be another way. You don't know. Spiritually, yes. But I don't go in there with a religious mindset like the Pharisees. I don't. That is why I am able to reach to the highest of where I'm at. As I was talking and having a conversation with my spiritual niece today, and we were sharing some things, and I was telling her why I do things certainly different than what I used to. Yes. Things that I used to. Hey, mom, I see you on here. But yeah. And so I'm like, okay, y'all got to see this movie, like straight up. I'm telling you, the movie Sinners, whew, it's no joke. And the critics, right now, that movie has hit the box office like never before. It has hit the box office like never before. Some people don't like scary stuff. Some people, if they go to look at this, they're gonna think it's scary. But no, don't look at this as a scary thing. Like seriously, this is dealing with how can I put it? Trying to put it in a way where people won't look at it in the wrong way. This is a movie that talks about foundational Black lineage here in America, or I should say North America, not just the United States, because technically, for those who are unaware of it, North America is a separate entity from the United States. But they don't want us to know that. This movie breaks down everything that we have experienced and continue to experience. This movie is an awakening, and I definitely got to give a love out there for the producer, Ryan Coogler. For those who don't know who he is the one that did Black Panther. I salute him. Michael B. Jordan did the thing. I mean, to play a twin, y'all have to. Everybody's been talking about it from day one. I talked about it the very next week after I watched it. I went and watched the movie that Thursday when it came out that night. I'm going to go see it again. For those who have already seen it again, I know I'm going to go see it again right along with you. And we can't wait until it is put on regular stream TV. Yes. So that we can share and sit down and dissect this thing from a spiritual realm notation to others who may believe and think differently. But I'm telling you, right now, let me read this article. Box office reports. All right. They already mentioned it over the Easter. We're going to skip past that because everybody already been talking about this on their podcast. But back then at the time, they said starring Ryan Coogler, starring his muse Michael B. Jordan, stormed to the top spot in its opening weekend with, at that time, was 45.6 million from 3,308 theaters. That's an impressive and heartening for the original movies and reminder that Coogler is a proper power player, even without the Marvel name above his poster. Now, I'm going to say something. This brother is not only talented, this brother is anointedly gifted. This brother's interviews, if you guys have not got a chance to listen to his interviews, go online and you listen to Ryan Coogler with the whole entire cast interview. He dissected and he did it from detail to detail, and he dig down to knowing his roots. And his roots, for those who are grassrooted from America, foundational Black, yes, the roots. He dug down so deep, he gave homage to his uncle. Now, granted, he gave a gratitude and salute to brothers and sisters in Africa. Yes, because, that's still part of the motherland. But right here on this soil over here, the indigenous, foundational, yes. I mean, he went to talking about jazz, how he broke it down. His uncle brought the music of understanding to him, to the blues, true stories on certain things. And it's so dynamic on how he was trying to explain it. And they did the interview back around January, so y'all can go back and check that out. But they did other parts and pieces with others. And the way the movie, how it's detailed and how it's broken down in I'm going to say, broken into pieces of strings of sand. I love it because it's the whole overall. I'm putting my hopes up that and I normally don't say that, I put my hopes up he make a part two. Because for those who have not watched it, I don't want to say, but it looks like it should be a part two. And if you get there, please do not leave, because people tend to stand up and leave while they pulling the critics and stuff. Come on now, don't do that, because every person knows majority of the time after they give all the critics and stuff, there's another part to a movie. Right here, it said it is still pulling big numbers. In its first week of release, it brought in 41.3 million. That brings in domestic total of 344.6 million. It's still the second highest grossing film of the year. Applaud. Yes. And the way he did this thing, you know how some people when they doing movies and stuff, they rush. But again, this movie is based on truth and true stuff of what we enduring from past to present, what's still to become. That's some good impression right here. Reminder that Cooley is a proper power player even without. I've already read that part, but right here it said it is still the second highest grossing film of the year with its 720.8 million intake. Wow. Wow. Let me say that again. 720.8 million intake. Then it says right here, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, but the Niza 2, which is still pulling in number worldwide, has 2.12 billion. The Chinese animation is about to get an English dub. So it sees that if it breaks out even further. But right now it sees no reason why it couldn't. And it's filmed where you really have to watch it first to understand half of what's going on. They talking about that. But again, all these other movies have not topped Sinners. It hasn't. And just to let y'all know too, there are a lot of other articles out here trying to downplay, yes, trying to downplay Sinners, trying to talk bad about it because it is really putting in the work. Like seriously. Trying to find the other article so I can read that part. Then I'm not gonna hold you guys too long. Bear with y'all sister. Let her see if she can find it. I'm just sitting here like flabbergasted because is it this one? No, that's not it. Okay, let me go up in here. But yeah, I mean, it's no joke, guys. This movie has hit the scene, but I'm gonna tell you what our brother on the Foundational Black, he spoke this and he posted this on Twitter. It said, poor little ad Variety. They were hoping so hard that Sinners would fail because Ryan Coogler pulled a Master P and negotiated an unheard of the movie deal. In its second week, the film has only fallen 6% from its opening weekend. Now they're on the bandwagon. So basically what they're saying here is all the other movies, they trying to say that it ain't trying to hit, but it's hitting. So right here, this is what Varsity, this is one of the articles. They're trying to say Sinner has amused 61 million in global debut. It's a great result from an original R-rated horror film. Yet the Warner Brothers release has a 90 million price tag before global marketing expenses, so profitable remains a ways away. That's what they're saying, right? Then on here, they said box office center scored 41 million in massive second weekend. Star Wars re-release beats accountant too. So again, they trying to downplay it, but let's see what some of our brothers and sisters on here are saying and giving some comments. One said, good job, Varsity. This will keep you in the business. Another one said, they didn't want it to fall. LOL. Nothing in the first screenshot says that. They were just saying how far it had to go to profit. So they was expecting other movies that Warner Brothers them had put out there and others to hit, right? They was not expecting Sinners to hit. And I'm telling y'all, so many people and so many other incidents, they trying to come at it, but it ain't happening. Last but not least, if y'all don't get a chance, y'all need to hit up and look up Vicky Dillard. You can find her right here on TikTok at Vicky Dillard. You can find her on YouTube and every other social media. You can find Foundation of Black, the Black Authority. You can find Tariq Nasheed and all other major outlets out there for those who definitely want to follow those who are staying up to date on a lot of the current things that regular news will not tell you the truth about. I'm telling y'all, so much going on. Even right now, some people believe that this is a man-made thing, but have y'all not noticed all the weather issues that's been going on recently? Oklahoma, there's a video, and even on the news that certain news media that nobody know about unless you local or unless you know some family that live in that area. have been getting hit with heavy rains. It was flooding all over the place. Places like there, Pennsylvania, is a couple more places. But I'm trying to tell y'all, be watchful, because there's a lot going on with the weather. They're spraying stuff in the airs, guys. They are doing all kinds of things. Like, seriously, it's no joke. And even right now, like right here, Vicky Dillon, our sister, says Canada and China aren't funneling fentanyl in America. I love this. This is the truth. They said, and no offense, but this is the truth. They're saying white people need to take responsibility for being dope heads. You gotta love her because she be speaking the truth. But this is not to be trying to bash people, but she gotta tell the truth where it at. Have y'all not noticed that? How is it that other countries are being held accountable for something that our own is in fault of? Haven't y'all noticed a high in fentanyl lately? Within the last 5 years? Have y'all not noticed? And it's flooding always in the black community. We didn't put it there. We don't know how to get access to that stuff. So how I get there? Think about that. Our children are off the chain. They even selling this stuff in the schools, guys. It's sad. They selling it in the schools. Yes. It's more cases now than ever before. They just had another case of catching it in the schools. Just like the crime rates have gone up in the schools. With students bringing weapons and using weapons that will puncture wounds and stuff. So many things. It's like unstable, seriously. So with that being said, again, pay attention. There are new laws that's been passed, guys. Yes, new laws have been passed in certain places, especially new laws passing here. You know already, especially if you in the DMV area, they're already going to be passing the laws by July. Yes, by July. So if you haven't heard, you better pay attention, because there are new laws that's getting ready to take effect. Even in one dealing with Kansas, they got a new law that's taking effect in July 1st. Another one, new gun law for Colorado. Lawmakers are also going to be sweeping new laws after discovering bizarre situations in local pet stores. There's so many new laws that's taking effect. One in Colorado, more in Florida, some here, some in the DMV area, some in Tennessee. I mean, all over the place. There's a new bill in Congress to seek pertaining to California, everything. I'm trying to make sure that your sister has caught up with all things, and I'm not behind on nothing to keep y'all up to date. Last but not least, keep your sister lifted up in your divine angelic prayers, because just as much as I still uplift and share my love to you all, continue to do what you do. Continue to strive. Be careful with these food, guys, because there has been a thing where they have found out that some of the food, I don't know if I should say this, but see, some people, they don't even care, because if you tell them, they're still going to eat. They figure like this: if I'm going to be not living long, I'm going to eat what I eat. But let me share something with you. That's not being real smart. That is being very ignorant to your body, because your body is a living temple. It is a vessel. Living temple, a vessel. Just like, look at your body is just like your car. If you drive, for some of us, we may not drive vehicles. We might be on subway, trains, and buses, or we might walk. But remember, your body is a vessel. You have to keep the maintenance up on it and maintain in good health. So, why this is on my mind, this is new. An invasive venomous ant is spreading in the U.S. here, where people should watch out because a sting can be fatal. Yes, almost forgot about this one. We are in the season, so for some, If you're in the East Coast, spring's already here. It depends on the part of the East Coast you're at. For others, if you're not, however, if you're wondering, like, how are these particular ants and bugs and animals are getting here? We know how. Through customs. You got to go through trading and transporting and all these kind of things. Or they might come on with your luggage when you're leaving from the other countries and so forth. But here goes. This was 6 hours ago. You can find this on the Independent article. Independent article states that neighborhoods across the Southeast, y'all hear that, Southeast, needs to be on a lookout for a venomous, it's called a Asian needle ant this summer. Why is it always something with Asians? Makes you wonder, don't it? Because they already talking about stuff that's going on from over there and why they're mad at the simple fact that the products that come from over there is being exposed and who is actually doing what they're supposed to do. And America is already getting upset, you know, those who are official behind the seats of the gov and the corpse. But anyway, let's proceed here. It's called an Asian needle ant this summer. And be warned, its sting can be deadly. People may suffer from an allergic reaction after the sting that can send them to the hospital without treatment. Woo! This make you wonder. So remember, this is called the Asian needle ant. Let's all look it up on Google and see what we can find. Home remedies, maybe the possibility to help us against this. If anything that stings and bites, you felt it, please take you a Benadryl if you can. Anything that stings or bites, please take you a Benadryl or a Claritin quickly. Now, I say those two because you want to make sure that you try to catch it quickly, because this is quick as that sting can put you in a quick allergic reaction. That Benadryl might take about 30 minutes to kick in, depending on how many you take. For some, if you take it all the time, that's kind of questionable because your body get immune to it. But let me proceed. People may suffer from an allergic reaction after a sting that can send them to the hospital without treatment. Symptoms can include difficulty breathing. Y'all hear that? Breathing. A weak or rapid heart rate. Vomiting. Hives. Fainting. Tongue swelling. That's almost similar to any other type of allergic reaction from like a bee sting or a wasp sting or spider bite or something like that. About the same. But again, makes you wonder. Because you saw what happened, what was it, a year or two ago? When people was in Maryland and all of a sudden these random mosquitoes was buzzing like swarms. And you know what people said? They said that those came from the corporation of the Billy Gates. But y'all know who I'm talking about. Also, it says we are now considering it a medically important pest. It is distinguished from one of the professors in the University of Georgia who told this to those on the social media this week. He said the number of calls from individuals who suffer from reactions also had some plexi issues prompted. They also had other issues outside of the other elements that I mentioned. And they said it gets a little bit more serious when the sting of the insect can be life-threatening. So they telling anyone, please make sure, especially for kids. You know, kids love to dig in dirt and stuff, and we like to lay on the ground. I'm an earthy person, so I like to put my feet in the ground. I like to be rooted with nature. So if you're like me, let's make sure we look down in the ground, spray down there or something, or put a yoga mat or a towel blanket. But even though we know they're going to crawl on that, let's just be mindful. Watch and look around. Anyway, they also said that the species, which is a native to Asia, has been found in the U.S. for 90 years, but its population had exploded recently. So it's already been here for 90 years, right? This is what this article is saying. And all of a sudden, it's just exploding. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What are they doing? Makes you wonder. Anyway, they said, How many of these ants there are today remains unknown, but how you going to know how many ants? Come on now. Who is this person writing this article? But they have historically been found in forest areas. They're found largely in the eastern U.S., including the Carolinas, Georgia, Indiana, and Alabama. However, have also been sighted in New York and Washington. Y'all hear that? Hopefully y'all can see this picture. This is what it kind of, let me see, it looks like. It looks like this. That's what they saying the ant look like. They can cause potentially deadly, y'all hear this, deadly allergic reaction. So remember, this is called an Asian ant, they say. The ant sting works to their advantage in gaining new territory. That's what they say. According to the American Association of Advanced Science, they are not picky about where they live and can thrive in forests and urban environments and neighborhoods. They nest under doormats. Y'all hear that? Nest under doormats or in potted plants, with colonies ranging from a few dozen ants to as many as a few thousand. They eat termites, but also go for human garbage. Strange, isn't it? Very strange. Now this is making me wonder, is this particular ant going to overpopulate the red ants and whoever ants? Because now, we need ants. Ants are a good natural nature environmental thing that keeps us going. Ants is a symbol of team and community. So, like for me, I've had ants crawl on my feet red. The only ones that I had to be careful with would be like fire ants. But still, it's getting ridiculous when this type of ant seem like they being more domestic and more vital than the red ants. And makes you wonder, would they take over the red ants population? Now it says here the behavioral versatility is allowing the Asian needle ants to move into forests, rural areas, urban environments at the same time. And it can tolerate cooler temperatures. Wow. It could spread into a broad range of territory. Now, when it starts to talk like that, that's automatically making me wonder. These things were created by man. There's no way you telling me these things came from Asia. Unless y'all done capturing them over there, testing them over here, and doing some janky stuff to them. People in science, they like to play around sometimes, so you got to be very careful with these things here. But it said, while the ants are naturally aggressive, they may sting if they end up in clothes or if someone places a hand on top of one of them. And during their swarming season, the chances of receiving a random sting increases because the females are more likely to land on an individual or get trapped in clothing. Often people are stung when brushing an ant off their skin. If an ant lands on you, it's best to flick it. So they saying don't brush it, flick it. Because if you brush it, it's allowing a quick time to sting. But if you flick it, it might not allow time. Rather than brushing, they said swarming season typically stretches from spring to late summer. Remember this, spring to late summer. If someone has been stung, there is a way to predict who will experience the issues or who will not. It's kind of hard to say or what. So again, for those that out there, if you're going to be traveling this summer, please be safe out there. Be prepared with your children, guys. Let your children know what's up. Teach your children, that goes for me too, or what is going on out here, because I'm telling y'all, it's some crazy things. It's crazy. I'm still trying to figure out in my own brain, like, how is this stuff like even happening? Like, seriously. So with that being said, again, check in some more for next week. Next week is Mother's Day week. So for those, just in case we might not be on here next week or next Thursday, because it's Mother's Day week. So shout out to all the moms, the real mothers out there. Please stand up. I give a clap. I'm gonna give a clap shout out to my mom, my queen, my love, my heartbeat. Me and her have been through some things. And we celebrated last month the birthday of my brother, which he would have been 39 this year. And again, grand to my brother who now is an ancestor. I am thankful. And I thank all those who had really supported us during that time. I got to give a shout out again to one of my dear sisters, Harmony Creations. For those who don't know, y'all can find her on my page at Harmony's Creation. She's right on TikTok and other social media platforms. Our amazing sister, she be doing the thing. Yes, she be doing the thing. And I'm just glad to have those in my life that has been supportive for me and my mom during the time my brother ascended, and to my nephews and nieces and everyone. But those who have lost loved ones this season past and recently, I send my love to those. I just lost a really good, I'm gonna call her, I used to call her like my daughter to me, or a little sister. When I was in college, she ascended I shouldn't say last month. Last month was April, but in March. And it was still a shocking to me. I still send the love out there to the Munger family. I send love and shout out to a lot of brothers and sisters from those who are in sorority and fraternities, my Sayans who crossed the year with me, that lost loved ones, those who have lost relatives, anyone, parents. It's never going to be easy, guys. But I will tell y'all that our mission and our duty here on earth is to make sure that we keep them alive. I'm not saying to worship them, but to still pay reverence and homage to them, because they are our angelic ones, the ones who hearts and their missions that were pure. And they're always keeping watch over us. They're here. And so their life of them staying on this earth for what they have done has been a way to rejoice, to love. And for those who would be like, well, how are you going to say that, Cynthia? How are you going to say that, Cynthia J? You don't understand. I may not understand, but I understand and I overstand. Why I say that? It's because I have been in your shoes. I don't know what it feels like to lose a child after so many years. But I know what it feels like to lose a baby. I know what it feels like to lose grandparents. I may not know what it feels like to lose parents or anything like that, but I know what it feels like to lose loved ones who have been the epitome of your journey. And they are a part of your journey. Not a day goes by that I don't shed tears and still rejoice. And I'm grateful. So as I share with you how the divine, the God within me has pushed me to rejoice, to praise, to laugh, to still cry and moan. I know in due season that my destiny walk and my purpose here, just like you, is to strive high. Because just like an airplane has turbulence, just like a state can have earthquakes or tornadoes, or a big island can have tsunamis, that's how our life is. And there's always going to be rough waters until it settles to be still. So with that being said, I thank you guys for chiming on in at the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, not excluding the men. Tune in and join me every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you GMT plus one time, 1 a.m., reach right here. Hit that like button, subscribe and share. Definitely follow me on my YouTube. You can go on my bio for those who are on TikTok. You can also go on my bio. You can see right here at the bottom of the screen. For those who are on my Restream Live, share this video, share. Even share it to young youth. The youth need somebody that stands up for them. The youth need somebody to stand up for them. Y'all hear that? Let me repeat. The youth never has enough of us to stand for them. And the youth needs us. So join me every Thursday at 7 p.m. But remember, this Thursday, your sister won't be here. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, amazing mothers, those who are godmothers to help the other mothers, whatever, those who did not give birth physically, but you gave birth spiritually to the mothers too. Because without y'all, our generation can't move forward. So with that being said, if you're looking for a birthing doula, as y'all can see, for those who can see right here on my Restream Live, I don't know if y'all can see back here on my TikTok, for Healing Hearts Tailor-Made Doula, you can find my information right in my bio. Click in on the TikTok and the bio and the link tree. The same thing here. For those who read in the bottom of the screen of my Restream Live, you can see the information there. If you're looking for me to come and uplift a song of motivation and to sing in your area, definitely make sure you hit up your sister. I am here. You can reach me by Gmail at cynthiaj.gospel@gmail.com. cynthiaj.gospel@gmail.com. And for those who are looking for Healing Hearts Tailor-Made Doula, it's Healing Hearts Tailor-Made Doula at gmail.com if you're looking for a birthing doula and you're in the DMV area. So please make sure you reach out. Don't be ashamed to hit up anybody. Don't be ashamed. Again, for those who see my information at the bottom of the screen, you can also follow me on my Facebook and my Instagram. Instagram is at cynthiaj.gospel and my Facebook is at Cynthia J. YouTube at Cynthia J22. If you'd like to email me again, all the credentials are at the bottom. Don't be shy to hit up your sister. But I thank you guys for tuning on in, for showing your love, always being supportive, and stay tuned for other things to come because greater is coming, guys. Don't be ashamed. Greater is coming. So stay tuned and be blessed.
Moving. It doesn't matter what your situation may seem. You gotta stretch your faith. You gotta keep it moving. You gotta keep on pressing through your obstacles. It doesn't matter what your situation is. It doesn't matter what your obstacles may be. You gotta stretch your faith. Keep on moving. It doesn't matter what your situation may seem. You gotta stretch your faith. You gotta keep on moving. You gotta keep on pressing through your obstacles. It doesn't matter what your situation is. It doesn't matter what your obstacles may be. You gotta stretch your situation